How to get better at Fortnite? This is a question many players have, because the title can be extremely overwhelming. With these 9 Fortnite tips, you'll learn the strategies of the pros, dominate the battlefield, and soon make more easy claps after your victories. Number 9. Be your environment. If you want to survive, you should draw as little attention to yourself as possible in everything you do and preferably go unnoticed.
Be water, my friend.
The sneak function is critical here. When you are in a building with enemies, you should make as little noise as possible, and sneaking will help you to achieve that. Number 8 in our Fortnite tips: blur your traces. Never underestimate your opponents. Your enemies will also become deadly killers, and you should make it as hard as possible for them. When you enter or leave a building, always try to cover your tracks by closing the doors. If you want to stay and camp in an area for a longer time, it's also helpful to destroy your structures, so that enemies who appear later will remain unsuspecting. So leave as few traces as possible. Number 7. Use headphones if you can, and also this setting. You can't have enough awareness in Fortnite, so better pay attention to every single sound. With headphones, you can ensure an optimal and concentrated soundscape, which is crucial in this battle royale. This allows you to identify precisely from which direction footsteps can be heard or shots are fired, and react to them in time. An additional advantage is the option Visualize Sound Effects in the audio settings, which shows you the decisive sounds via the user interface, especially recommended for players without a headset.
Wow!
Number 6. The proper behavior in combat. If you spot a fight between players, you should stay covered and observe it first. This will give you valuable information and probably at least one less opponent. Try then to sneak up slowly from behind to kill the enemy at closer range. It's best to surprise them before they can heal. Another great moment to get that frag is when they start collecting the loot of the other player. However, you can also quickly become a target. If that happens, buy some time by building walls. This gives you more protection and additional shooting angles. Then try to heal yourself as quickly as possible and find out the exact position of the shooter so that you can react accordingly. Also, remember to keep moving in battle so you're harder to hit. Number 5 in our Fortnite tips and tricks: the right landing. Find the perfect jump. This is critical to staying alive and getting off to a good start. In the beginning, most players will jump over the big cities because the chance for good loot is incredibly high. But most likely you will get... As a beginner, you should avoid this danger at first and jump over smaller places more to the edge of the map. There you will find less loot, but you will have more time to prepare yourself and maybe try out some things. Number 4. Loot the best gear you can and remember it. Open as many crates as possible to equip yourself with weapons and items. Try them to find out what suits you best and memorize it. The loot in Fortnite has the following color coding. Common has a gray color, uncommon is green, rare is blue, epic is purple, legendary is orange, and mythic has a gold color. Number 3. Building in Fortnite. This game also requires you to create and modify barriers and walls to protect yourself from the enemy attacks. After you have collected the appropriate combat equipment, farm some construction materials. As a rule, it is recommended to collect at least 300, better 800 materials to be ready for sufficient construction projects. However, this ends up depending on the type of game you play. In Fortnite, you can farm 3 building resources: wood, stone and metal. These have different pros and cons. Wood has the lowest resistance, but it's swift to harvest and offers you quick protection in any case. The maps are equipped with numerous fences, trees and pallets that you can use for this purpose. In addition, wooden walls have small slits through which you can look and spot opponents. You are better protected, but of course not invisible, so be on your guard anyway. Stone provides a perfect mix of resistance and fast harvesting. Some objects can bring you up to 100 stone resources. Overall, an excellent building material and a perfect compromise between speed and durability. Metal is the most robust material, but also the most difficult to farm. It is pretty rare on the maps, but you can still get it by farming metal pallets, trucks, metal fences, and so on. In general, stone is recommended because the ratio of effort to benefit is best in this respect. Number 2. Healing is key. One of the Fortnite tips that sounds very trivial, but is essential for survival, especially for beginners. In addition to the proper firearms, you should always have enough healing items. It is best to reserve a place in your inventory for this, and always use the same slots for heals. Before healing yourself though, always take cover. In the open fields, you should first build walls around yourself before you start patching up. And finally, number 1. The best Fortnite settings. Whether you win or lose in this battle royale is determined not least by the settings you choose. So before you jump into the fray, you should have done the following things. First, install the latest graphics card driver for maximum FPS. Download the driver from the manufacturer's website, or in the case of an NVIDIA graphics card, use the GeForce Experience interface and click the driver button at the top. Next, you should optimize your in-game video settings. Play this shooter with your native display resolution at a frame rate of at least 60 FPS. The goal is, though, to get as many frames per second as possible. Click on the menu button in the upper left corner of Fortnite and then on the gear icon below to get to the settings. Depending on your hardware, you may have to accept poorer graphics for the sake of better performance and an FPS advantage. The best Fortnite settings for most systems are the following. Set the window mode to full screen. Try to match your monitor's native resolution, for example 1080p, or reduce the resolution to 720p in order to get some additional FPS. Turn off VSync. Set the frame rate to unlimited, rendering mode to DirectX 11, turn off motion blur, deactivate anti-aliasing, set the 3D resolution to 100%, shadows off, view distance to epic, set the textures to low, as well as effects and post-processing. You can experiment with the video settings and study your FPS in the game by checking the Show FPS box in the Video Settings tab. But again, more FPS is better, and reducing the visual fidelity might also give you an advantage as you can spot your opponents earlier. That's it for now with our 9 tips on how to get better at Fortnite. Refer to this guide whenever needed and consider these tips and tricks at your own pace. If you like or dislike this video, show it with your thumb and leave us a comment. If you haven't subscribed yet, then it's a great time to do so and ring that bell. Expect more videos soon, and for the meantime, visit our website yourgames.tv and follow us on Twitter @yourgtv. See you on the next one, ballers.